Hi, Marina. I'm Megan. I'm your counselor today.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Before we begin, I just wanted to review confidentiality because I know that's kind of an important topic to discuss before we begin our session. So just to remind you, anything that you share with me in this session will remain here. The only time I'd ever share any information with anyone else is if I have the impression that you might harm yourself or another person. Great, awesome. Well, I thought we could begin by just explaining what brings you here today and maybe why you decided to come to counseling now.
Okay, well, my parents actually wanted me to see a therapist because they've been saying that I've had a lot of mood changes really quickly, mood shifts, and they think that I have an issue with alcohol, but really it's just been, in my mind, I've been going back and forth between what I want to do in my future, and that's kind of been making me anxious, and I think that might be the bigger issue.
Okay, so you're saying that your parents kind of think you have some mood shifts lately and some drinking issues, but you're saying that it's something else. It's more of, you elaborate more on why.
Yeah, well, my mom is really sick, and my family wants me to stay home. I'm 17, so I'm going to be graduating high school soon. And my parents want me to stay around and take care of my mom. My family is really close, and they just kind of see that as my responsibility. But then I see all of my friends applying to schools, and they're going to be going away to college. And I feel like if I don't do that, then I'm not going to have a future in anything, and I won't be able to do anything with my life.
All right, so
I'm kind of torn.
Yeah, it sounds like you feel like you're being pulled apart in maybe two different directions.
Right.
Okay, so you said on one side it's kind of your friends trying to encourage you to go to college, and that's something that you are interested in doing.
Right.
And then also your parents on the other side wanting you to stay home to take care of your mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other concerns that you bring in here today, or are those basically?
That's mostly it. I also might get anxious just about my mom's health, but it's mostly just what I'm gonna do.
So this decision.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing with me that. So to get a better understanding of your problem and kind of how I can best help you, I think it's important to go over a list of maybe possible symptoms that you may be experiencing, just to kind of eliminate certain things so we can get a better sense of your problem. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So could you describe your sleep process, how much sleep you get in there?
I usually get probably 7 or 8 hours, I'd say. If I'm stressed about a test or something, or if I'm really thinking about this issue, then I might not be able to fall asleep as quickly, but I think it's pretty normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about your appetite? Do you find yourself eating?
I think it's normal.
Normal?
Yeah.
And you said earlier that your parents are concerned about your mood shifts. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I don't know, it might be easier to make me angry these days just because I have a lot of stress, and so I might lash out at them more than I should, but I guess I don't see it as much as they do.
Yeah.
Every time I do like one small thing that upsets them, they compare me to my sister, because she dropped out of high school and we don't really talk to her that much. She's addicted to drugs, that type of thing. So they compare me to her every time I slip up, and it's kind of hard to deal with.
So does that put a lot of pressure on you to kind of
Yeah.
try to?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Another important thing that we have to talk about is suicide. Have you ever had any thoughts of ending your life, or?
No.
No? Okay. I have to ask that.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
preliminary.
understand.
What about any other life stressors in your life? Anything else besides your family and college?
I would say just normal stuff, like week to week assignments and
More homework stuff.
Right.
Okay. Well, to get a better sense of your problem and kind of what brings you here today, we kind of need to gauge like a timeline. So when do you think your issues kind of started?
Well, my mom got sick around a year ago, and now it's just like the issue's been more in my face because now's the time I need to start applying to college and stuff if that's the route I'm gonna take, or yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I I guess with my mom getting sick about a year, and then gradually it's like getting worse, and it's getting closer and closer to having to make a decision.
Yeah, getting closer to that time.
Yeah.
Okay. And was there a particular time where all this conflict with your family and your mood, has it been worse at a particular time, or has it kind of been consistent?
Like I said, as it gets closer and closer to when I'm gonna have to make a decision, I'm feeling more pressure from both sides. So it probably will only get worse from here on out if I don't find something to do about it.
Okay, so that's probably why you're here today.
Yeah.
Trying to get a hold of everything. Okay.
Right.
And what about some coping skills what are some things that you do in your life currently to try to address or make things easier for you?
Yeah. I mean, I can get my mind off of it if I'm hanging out with my friends. Obviously, not talking about that because it is our subject sometimes. But yeah, when I'm doing that, I don't know. I like to listen to music, and sometimes that helps me escape all the craziness that's going in my brain. But I think I could definitely use more coping skills.
Yeah. So you're utilizing your friends and your support system there.
Right.
Using music is kind of a way to kind of tune out the rest of the world and just kind of relax.
Right.
But yeah, I think we can definitely come up with some more coping skills down the line. I think that's a great idea. Awesome. So I think the next step in this process is to kind of talk a little bit more about your life currently and how your life socially, academically, how everything is looking. So I wanted to start off with asking you about your friends, because I know you've mentioned your friends quite a few times. So could you explain how often you hang out?
Yeah, I mean, I see them every day at school and then a few times on the weekends. And I guess it's been getting more and more, conversation topics and getting more and more about the future, which is making it kind of more stressful to hang out with them. But other than that, I think they're a good support system. They just don't understand the side, like my family side, just like my family doesn't understand that.
Yeah, they're kind of limited, maybe.
Right. But yeah.
Another question about your friends is, how would you describe your social life in general? So including your friends and just other aspects.
What do you mean?
Like, do you do any other type of social activities outside of hanging out with your friends, like clubs? Or...
Yeah, I'm on the soccer team, so most of my friends are on the team too, so it's kind of the same group of people.
It's nice. Have you been playing for a long time?
Yeah, I've been playing my whole life.
Very cool. Yeah, I played soccer.
Oh yeah.
In general, with your friends, it seems like you kind of rely on them quite a bit to talk to and use as a resource. How helpful do you think they are as a resource for you?
On this particular topic, probably not that great, just because they only see their side of it. Some of them have sick parents, so they don't really get where I'm coming from, and they don't have the same, I guess, type of family. Not necessarily that, but just my family's really close with like our culture. Usually stay home, take care of each other, type of thing.
Like a communal.
Right. So it's kind of hard for them because they don't come from the same type of culture, I guess.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
they can't understand.
That could be a divide, kind of, and how they can kind of help you understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Are there any religious or spiritual beliefs that play a role in your life?
I used to be a lot more religious than I am now, which might be part of the problem. But none of my friends are really religious, so it's kind of faded out since I was younger.
So it sounds like you're thinking religion may be another aspect of your life that you can maybe tap into.
Maybe, yeah. Be something I'd look into.
And another final thing I wanted to address is talking about your family. So you've talked about them quite a bit. Can you just describe your relationship with your parents? And you mentioned your sister as well.
Yeah, I've always been pretty close with my family. We moved from Mexico when I was 12 to America. And then, like I said, my sister dropped out of high school, so ever since then they've been pretty strict because they don't want me to make the same mistakes. Yeah. And I think I'm a lot different than my sister. I don't think they see that. I do pretty well in school and I don't really get into trouble, but any like minor misstep I take, they're comparing me to her and like the whole thing. So
I'm sure that's pretty overwhelming for you.
Yeah.
And has your family, has it always been this contentious, or like has there always been this much conflict with you and your parents, or just?
Not really, just because of what's coming out, the decision I have to make. It's kind of, they don't understand why I want to stay home. Type of thing.
So sounds like your parents are kind of maybe in the dark a little bit about maybe, or they don't fully understand why you want to go to college, or that's like an important priority for you.
Right. Yeah, I want to be able to do something with my life, and if I don't go to college, I probably will never be able to do anything that would be meaningful for me.
So it sounds like colleges are really important.
Yeah, I mean, my family's more important than that, but I don't know, there might be a way to deal with both.
Sure. Well, it doesn't have to be one or the other. That's definitely something we can talk about more and address as we go on in future sessions. Now, so we've talked about your problem with your family, and we've talked a little bit about your current life, socially and academically. I think the next step is to talk about your past a little bit. I think that's a great way to kind of understand more about who we are and where we come from. So I wanted to ask you if you have any history of mental disorders or any.
No.
Nothing. Okay. And have you ever been in therapy before? I probably should have asked you this in the beginning, but
No, I haven't.
you haven't.
No.
Okay. Do you have any like general questions or concerns about just therapy in general?
Not really, no.
Well, I hope that everything's going well for you
Yeah.
so far. And I guess when you were a child, it's kind of important to understand how you interacted with your peers or your friends. How would you say?
I mean, I've always gotten along with people around me. It's never been an issue. Initially, when I switched schools, started after we moved, it was a little rough in the beginning, getting used to everything here, but that kind of worked itself out, and it's fine now.
So it's kind of gotten better as you stayed here. Yeah. And now you said you're in high school, 17.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit more about how your high school experience is so far? What do you like about it?
I really like it. I think the classes are more interesting than they've been, and I've made a lot of new friends, like better friends than I've had the rest of my life. So it's been a good experience. Just more stressful, I guess, schoolwork and everything, and trying to balance. But I'd say it's going okay.
So you think you've been able to manage your schoolwork and
Yeah.
has everything's progressed? Yeah. And we've talked a lot about college, and that's kind of a central issue that you want to address. Could you maybe talk a little bit more about why you want to go to college?
Yeah, I don't really know what I want to do with my life yet, but I know I want to do something. Neither of my parents have a college degree, so it kind of limits them in what they are able to do, and I just don't want to be limited.
Yeah.
You know.
So you want to open up more doors, maybe?
Yeah, I want that college experience and get an education and get a job that my parents haven't been able to do. Yes.
And finally, I wanted to ask you about your home environment in general. So how has it been in the past year since your mom has been sick?
More tense, I guess. Kind of depends on, she sets the mood for the family. If she's not doing well, then none of us are really that happy day to day, but usually it's okay. We get along pretty fine. It's just when there are issues, they seem to escalate more than they ever have in the past, I guess.
So she kind of maybe sets the tone.
Yeah.
Sounds like what you're saying. Okay. What about your sister?
Yeah, I talk to her a few times a year. She doesn't really talk to my parents at all. It's a pretty bad relationship between them. And yeah, if I reach out to her, she's usually not that. She doesn't really want to talk that much, it seems like, so I don't really try.
Okay. So is that not a relationship you want to focus on? Is it more of your parents?
I mean, I think maybe later in life we could do something there, but not. I think now I have more important things to focus on.
So basically, your parents is kind of the central point that you want to focus on. So I know we've kind of discussed quite a bit so far, but I think you've gotten a good sense of where you're at. So to kind of touch base with you, it sounds like your main concern is with your parents and trying to decide whether you want to go to college and pursue that goal that you expressed, or maybe staying at home and doing what they kind of want you to do and take care of your mom. And you also mentioned that they were concerned for some mood shifts that you've had lately, but that sounds like it's kind of related to this struggle that you're experiencing with college and your family. Okay. Are there any other general concerns, or do you think
That's mostly it. Just I don't know how I'm gonna be able to make a decision without either upsetting my parents or like myself, I guess.
have you tried bringing it up, or is it just with your parents, or?
I mean, if I do, they just don't really understand why I would do it because they're happy with their lives. They didn't go to college.
Mhm.
They don't understand why I would need more or want more, I guess. So if I do bring it up, it's a pretty short conversation their way.
So it's kind of been something you haven't been successful with in the past,
Right.
bringing it up. Okay, well, I think one goal that we could possibly do in future sessions is maybe trying to maybe bring them to a session, or just think of ways that you could bring up this issue that you're having and have them maybe understand it from a different perspective. Because it seems like they are kind of stuck in their own way of seeing it, and they're not really fully able to understand where you're coming from.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's something we could do. Are there any other goals or anything that you come into that you want to?
Maybe just ways to like, deal with the anxiety I'm feeling, I guess.
Okay, so coping strategies for
Yeah.
anxiety.
That would be helpful.
So you talked earlier about coping skills that you currently do. Have any of them had a major impact besides, like I said, your friends?
Yeah, not really. Nothing's helped that much. I don't think I'm stressed about it. But
So nothing really is.
yeah, things that have worked in the past, like smaller issues, aren't really helping me now, I guess.
It was such a bigger issue. Okay. What about in terms of long-term goals? Because short-term goals are important, something we have to address from like session to session as we move on. But long-term goals are kind of the big thing that you want to accomplish.
I mean, I want to be able to come to a decision without feeling super bad about it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like the ultimate goal. I don't know if I'll ever be able to achieve that, but at least come to a decision that I'm okay with.
Okay, so
Or at least having like my parents or other people like understand it, even if they're not happy with it, I guess.
okay, so maybe that they can, maybe not always approve, but just that they understand that this is the best thing for you, and they're not gonna.
Yeah, I would like my parents' support if I do decide to go a route that they know they didn't initially want.
Yeah. That's something we could do. Any other concerns? Anything that you think could, I guess, just if you could imagine a perfect day in the future, what would that be?
Just being hopeful, like having a plan for the future, knowing what I want so that I can go and do it, I guess, would be nice. Not having to deal with the anxiety of feeling like I'm being pulled in different directions.
So kind of maybe come to a sense of peace and
Yeah.
understanding or clarity.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be nice if I could just wake up one morning and know exactly what I'm gonna do and have everybody
Yeah.
support me. I know that probably won't happen, but as close to that as I can get would be nice.
I think that's something we could definitely get to at some point in the future. It may seem impossible at this point because things feel so overwhelming. But I think as we start going through goals and we start having like forming a game plan of what we want to do, I think we can really start to make progress.
Yeah.
Improve your life because it's definitely possible, and you can only go up from here.
Right.
So do good things together. Awesome. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here. I really look forward to seeing you in future sessions, and you can always reach out to me. I'm always a resource for you. So
Thank you.
thank you so much.